And hello to all my Cancer friends. I would like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free Psychic Tarot reading for June 2022. Now today they've dialed up for you a 4-corner spread. It's a great spread for general readings because it looks at the 4 main areas that people usually ask about in tarot, which is your love corner, a popular one always there, your health, your work, as well as your financial corner. We're going to take a brush through all 4 of them. They've asked that I conclude your reading with another spread that is my chakra scrub, actually. It's spiritual health. So we're going to take a little dive through all 7 of your chakras, see what areas are blocked, what could be improved, what is kicking really well. So that's always a very interesting one as well. And we're going to end your reading after that with a Runestone, which is going to tie the whole thing together for us. So we're going to get started right now. The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save us a bunch of time. I'm going to bring you in right here, right now, so you can watch. Go ahead and hit that like button if you're ready to have a great June. And we are on. What I'm doing now are my ritual cuts. Basically, we cut each deck into 3 different pieces, and then we put it back together in a separate order. And that satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. Same procedure for personal private reading, so it's just like you're here getting it with me today. Very good. So the 4 corners usually is a simpler spread. It doesn't take up a lot of time, but the chakra scrub does. So they kind of gave you an interesting little mix here of time. It's going to be an interesting reading altogether. So here we go for June. This is your work corner, guys. See my height? That's good. Over here is love. Down here is financial. And then over here is health. Okay, so we do have a lot of moving parts, as it turns out. The love corner is actually the simplest one of the group. None of them are requiring oracle cards at this time, so this is how it's going to be read. I'm checking the inverts real quick. I think we're good there too. Yep, you guys are pretty clear energy all around. Make sure it's on view for you here. Yep, so we're good to go, Cancer. Let's get started. Also need to tell you guys too, last month you had a 4 corners, but the extra at your end of last month's was telling time. Now that is what pinpoints a window of opportunity. So in case you missed last month's telling time, you might want to check that out there for May. Kind of jump ahead toward the end of the reading, maybe the last 5 or 6 minutes, something like that, to see your telling time, because that's a very important one you don't want to miss. Let me see where I'm going to start here. I'm going to go with health first for you guys. Okay, Cancer. So for health for the month of June, we start with a very successful emotional pull coming through. This is like a trophy case card, something that you're proud of, something to be an accomplishment of some form, something to get excited about. It's presenting itself very good. So I don't know if you've done something recently that has improved your health, maybe changing your eating habits, changing your exercise habits, maybe adding something, subtracting something that has improved your health. That's what they show. If that is not you, that is the advice. This is a great time to do this. It is literally like, I call it my trophy case card. It's like a trophy on the shelf. It's an accomplishment. So whether this is an accomplishment you've already made or are yet to make in the month of June, it presents itself as a very good time to do that. We do have action in regards to work. I feel like for a lot of my Cancers, this is something that is attached to work somehow. I'm going to look ahead just to see if they talk about that at all here in your work corner. I don't think so, but there's some kind of connection that they're leaving vague, probably by design so that you'll figure this out for yourself, and I don't give you too much context to the point where you either attach to it or detach to it. So they want everybody to kind of consider what they're talking about here, how your health is being affected by your work. Maybe some of you are working too hard. Maybe some of you are stressed out at work. Maybe some of you are actually doing too much physical stuff like lifting and on your feet all day and stuff like that. And that's affecting your health and they don't want you to do that. There is an action they want you to take here. This is an action that they're saying is lessons from your past. That's how it's described here in my 10 of Wands. It's basically saying that, you should have really already learned this. I don't feel like this is coming in a bad way at all. They just want you to make sure that this stays correct. So for example, let me go back to the on your feet example. If you're on your feet all day, like let's say you're a waitress, right? You're on your feet all day long serving customers and you're You have pains in your foot constantly. Well, you know that if you buy a certain kind of shoe, that significantly helps this problem. And maybe this pad or this shoe has worn out and you've gone back to something cheaper and whatever instead of buying the expensive shoe that's going to help you out here. So they want you to take the action. So in this case, it would say move the money to, go buy what you need to do here because it's affecting your health, and they don't want that. They don't want work affecting your health. So of course that story is not going to be for you specifically, but you get the idea, you get the energy of where they're going here with this. And this is something that you've learned before is what they're showing me here. So lessons being learned, being repeated. So learn from your lessons of the past so that this health work intermediary problem doesn't come back in the month of June. They want you to solve this. And it is a very good thing. Like I said, the trophy case card, I go back to the first card that they gave me. It is a very good opportunity to kind of get your health situation under control, especially how it pertains to work. Next, we move up to your love corner, guys. I'm going to read work and finance together because it usually makes the most sense to do so. In your love corner, we do have some nurturing of the mind going on here. A lot of you are either thinking about what you're doing with love or what you plan to do with love or just what is going on right now in general. The swords suit is always a very mental and cerebral suit. So that's what they show a lot of my Cancers are doing. You guys are thinking either about past loves, current loves, or just very much in your own head about this. Hopefully this is a good thing. They don't show me it is a bad. They could have given me this queen upside down, in which case they would have said that really you need to take care of nurturing your mindset here. Your mindset's all out of whack and balanced. They didn't show that. They show it's very, upright, in which case, it's good and clear. There is definitely a romance that is being considered or thought about background. So I don't know if this is something like from the past that is just, maybe popped back up or, maybe something has triggered you to think of something from the past, but there's definitely that kind of pull attached to this queen in this deck that they wanted me to use for you guys. Also, what is going on there is they bring in, it's the second best card in the tarot deck here in the Ten of Cups. This is kind of my Disneyland great family joy card, and it's upright too, so there's no blockages, there's nothing impairing it. It's actually presenting itself very nicely for you guys. But in this deck, this card is pictured with the energy tuned down. It's very much turned down joy. So it's kind of saying, this, you should feel more happy about your love corner than you do. Maybe you're a little discontent with something, or you expect something to be a little different or maybe better than it is, but remember that expectations sometimes can be ripoffs, and here they're saying, things are actually pretty good for you here. We have cups in the picture. We have cups overflowing everywhere around this woman, in which case this person is presented as you. And they're saying, and she's just kind of like looking around like, very eh. Okay, so there's Spirit saying, you have a lot going on here that's very good. So be appreciative of that. If you're going to attach yourself and dwell on anything in particular, dwell on the good. Don't dwell on the discontent or failed expectations. So that's what we have for Love Corner. As we move into work and finance, let's see. I'm going to start with work. Work, they show you getting things in order in the month of June. That's very good. Getting things in a row. Also, a small success is what comes in. Probably a small success from getting things in order. We do have either a boss looking over your shoulder, or if you are the boss, looking over your employees, kind of seeing what's going on here. That's what they show very much. But it presents itself as very good energy. In fact, this whole corner of your life is very, very clear. Now, it does get a little weird in a minute, but let me just go one at a time, not get too far ahead of myself. We do have boss energy coming in the work corner. Work, business, enterprise, area of study, retirement if you're of that age. So it's either saying that you really need to be the boss here and take great authority over work. Some of you are actually saying you might want to consider actually being your own boss or moving up to be a boss of other people. That's something that comes up here. It's literally like my corporate boss card. So there is some kind of tie in there that you're going to have to put the context of what they're trying to tell you. Because we have some moon energy coming in, and this is where it gets a little funky, a little foggy, a little mysterious, not really sure it makes sense right now, a little bit of confusion going on. Maybe you're not seeing things very clearly. But this is going to move and open up and clear up at some point. I don't know exactly when that is. It might not be in June. This might become more clear to you later, but that might be why they're laying the groundwork here and kind of teasing you being your own boss to get you to start thinking about some things up here, or to, like I said, getting things in order. And then we go back to what we talked about in your health corner, guys, about how work is being affected by health, or health being affected by work, more like. I guess it could be the other way around too, but usually it would be more your health being affected by work. And they want you to know that even though you can't see the whole way through, you don't have to. The best example of kind of moon energy is when the fog rolls in. And anybody who's driven through fog knows that, you can only see about 5-10 feet in front of you at a time. Does that mean you don't drive? No, not necessarily. You just drive carefully. You drive with the fog lights on. You increase your brake space, your distance between, objects and cars and stuff like that, so that when, if you need to stop real quick, you can see the object and give yourself time to stop. So that's the same energy of what's going on here. It's like they don't want you to stop what you're doing. They just want you to be a little cautious. And even though it's a little foggy, you're not seeing the whole picture. It's okay that you don't see the whole picture right now. At least in June, this is not that way. At some point, like I said, though, this is going to break, this is going to open up, and they want you to start thinking about some things now. And that's probably so when it does open, that you can act in a way that very much benefits you. Let's get into your financial corner here. Finance is coming up with, we have blocked siblings coming in here, or close family members coming up in your financial corner. So something may be going on with some kind of family money, whether it's you helping the family out or the family helping you out. We have something like that coming in here. And this is not really a joyous thing. This is kind of usually more necessity, or like, oh gosh, I have to do this again to help this person. They always need my help. Why are they, not self-sufficient, or something like that? And maybe it's the other way around. Maybe you are the one that's requiring too much help financially here from other people, from other family members. They have a work message that comes into your financial corner very, very early in the month of June. This is going to move us and segue us into our moon cycles in just a minute. But what they're talking about here is a work correspondence. So that's work letting you know something. It could be, I don't know if it's good or bad. They don't really tell me. It could be work. Let me give you both examples. It could be work saying, hey, we're going to give you a spot bonus. We're going to pay you an extra $1 an hour, but we need you to do this to earn it. We need you to take this training course, or we need you to take this extra responsibility and, help with this, but we're going to give you this in exchange. So that would be one example of probably a positive work correspondence. An example of a negative one would be like, okay, well, we got to cut your hours by 5 hours a week. Sorry. Something like that. Probably most people would not enjoy that. Okay, so that's a work correspondence. There's something coming in regards to work that is prevalent early in the month. They do show that there is an event or a celebration or something worth celebrating here financially later. Not in June. This is not the time to celebrate. I would kind of relay that or interpret that into spending as well. Probably not the greatest time to be spending money extravagantly. I mean, if you have to do something, like let's say you have a child's birthday party, it doesn't mean that you should give them a cheap birthday party or just, do a stupid small celebration. Give them a good celebration. It's just saying here, don't do anything over the top extra. Like it would be a bad month to go buy a new entertainment center or a new, home theater, stuff like that. Extra spending I would probably avoid because this is something that is presenting itself as better later. There is something worth celebrating later, maybe more money, more income, more flow of the ins and outs of spending coming in at a later time. And maybe it has something to do with that work message too. Or maybe it's just, maybe they just want you to move this kind of splurging spending to July, August, or September, something like that. Now, how that applies to the moon cycles, I like to give you guys the moon cycle forecast every single month so you know what's coming. This month in June, we have the full moon. I'm going to give you that one first because that's what hits first. June 14 is when the full moon comes. We did talk about the moon energy there in your work corner. This is a little different. This has really nothing to do with that. This is all about timing, of getting things out of your life that don't fit anymore. Just like we talked about that work and health connection there. If there's something in there that is just giving you an imbalance that needs to go, the middle of June would be a very empowering time to do that when it would really stick. Even bad habits can be purged here very easily, or much easier than any other time of the month. getting rid of people. Some of you have to get rid of people from your life, some toxicity. It could be just getting rid of something that you've had a long time, maybe selling or repurposing, getting closure on projects, stuff like that is all purging full moon energy. That happens on the 14th. You don't have to do this stuff on the 14th. Anytime right around the middle of the month is really great for that. And we have the new moon that comes in at the end of June. Now that's a very interesting one because we have new moon energy coming in early in the month from May, but it's strongest at the end of June. On June 28th is when the new moon hits. That's when you want to bring something brand new into your life that wasn't there before. Now, an example of that could be something we didn't talk about here, which would be like new love. That would be a good time to push that. If you were going to start dating or join a site or something like that, if you're single and wanted to change that, the end of June would be a much better target time to do that than any other time in June. Bringing in new health, bringing in something new financial, even going for a new job, all that stuff is much better. New moon energy, which is the 28th. Doesn't have to be on the 28th. Anytime toward that last week of the month is really good for it. If the moon cycles confuse you in any way, I've put together a little moon cycle cheat sheet. It is absolutely free. It's a nice little visual aid reference guide. It's on my website, scottsagent.com. You just go to my videos page on there. It's parked at the very bottom of that, and just check it out, review it. It kind of gives you an idea of the ebbs and flows of those moon cycles. So very important. While you're at the website, make sure you're signed up for the newsletter. That's the very bottom of, I think every single page is my newsletter sign up. Very, very bottom. And by doing that, a couple free readings every year is what I give to my newsletter people. They do a great job for me. Beta testing all my new products, so I blow it out to them for free a couple times a year, guys. So that's a no-brainer, and it's free to sign up. So I only send one newsletter email a month, so that is a no-brainer. Make sure you're signed up there. Let's get into actually, I'm going to do the Runestone before I do the chakra scrub, because the Runestone I like to see these cards with when I pull that for you. Also need to tell you guys too, this is my 1-year anniversary. Thank you so much for joining and being a part of this community and contributing, watching the videos, liking, subscribing, all that good stuff, guys, because this is my 1-year anniversary. Even though I've been reading tarot for 8 years, this is my 1 year complete on YouTube. So thank you for everything. So this is your Runestone right here. I think I'm holding it the right way. Let me show you this guy here. So this Runestone is signals. Signals. Watch for the signs from the universe. The universe / God / the all works in mysterious ways. Sometimes they communicate in ways, as long as your eyes are open, you can see a lot of this stuff. Even your guardian angels and spirit guides work this way if your eyes are open. You know, I see a lot of messages or signals on license plates that I follow sometimes, paying attention to times and clocks and just synchronicity. I might be, for example, reading a magazine and a very interesting word comes up. Say a word that's not common, like let's say synchronicity, right? I might be reading the word synchronicity and hear, you know, a song that's about that. About, you know, synchronicity. It's like, what are the odds of that? It's like wild, absolutely wild. So, and song lyrics are a really wonderful thing to pay attention to too, especially if a song pops into your head out of the blue. If you hear something, you know, earlier in the day, that's different because then it's like in your memory recently and it's like playback. But if you start humming a song that you just have no reason to be humming, that you have not heard, pay attention to those lyrics. That a lot of times Spirit gives me stuff like that. They pay attention to a song lyric. It's a much easier way for them to give you a little data packet, a little bit of information there. So signals for the month of June, that means they're trying to get a hold of you guys, so make sure that you pay attention, otherwise you'll miss that. I didn't use that many cards, so we're good to run the chakra scrub just the way it is. That's what we're going to do here. Now, I might talk about it in a different order, but when I do the chakra scrub, I go top to bottom. So here we go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Let's see if I need more card work. We do have a lot inverted. Give them a chance to upright it. They do want everything uprighted. Order needs to stay the same. That is extremely important in tarot always. Extra cards, 1 here. And I think that's it, guys. I think we're good to go. While I got this in front of me here, I want to tell you, since this is a chakra scrub, and while you're at the website signing up for the newsletter, checking out those moon cycles, I have a brand new audio product. It's part of my mini set, my mini audio readings. You don't even have to be there for the reading. I'd use your birth date to read it for you. It's the Health or Chakra Scrub. You get one or the other. This is an example of chakra scrub. So this is spiritual health stuff. If you're interested in more physical health stuff, that is offered on that product. Also the chakra scrub. So let's say this for a general reading, we do have a lot of bubble cancer energies here, a lot of cancers tuning in. If you want something like this, that's all about you specifically, I offer that on the website. Check that out, that Health or Chakra Scrub. Also, the My Month product is part of that mini reading also, or available as a mini reading that talks about your entire month, a little bit of numerology in there as well with the tarot, and also the Angel and Animal Totems package, which is the same mini reading as the other three. So there's 3 different products there. Make sure you check those out, guys. Very interesting stuff. And the reviews on the Health or Chakra Scrub have been phenomenal. I'm gonna go bottom to top. So let's start with number 7 here at the very bottom. This is your root chakra. They show good social health. So getting out and doing things with friends is actually quite grounding for you. It presents itself very good, but let's keep it up that way. Whatever you're doing, just don't do over the top. For example, let's say going to the beach. Going to the beach is extremely grounding. Anytime you're around water, extremely grounding here. But if you do it every day, it's like you're overcharging the batteries too much. Probably giving yourself a pretty heavy sunburn as well, and that's not good. So, in moderation, but social is the key here for your grounding. As we move up into your orange here, this is your emotional center. I have some cancers that are going through some painful things or have some painful emotional pulls that you may not realize are still affecting you the way that they are. Some of you may actually be going through rough emotional patches right now. This is pictured as a guy that's being kind of impaled by a bunch of swords flying through the air, and one of them is coming right through his heart. So that indicates to me this is an emotional thing. It's your emotional center here in the orange, and that shows how you feel about something. So even if this is something from your past, you may want to address this. This may be something you need to forgive, forget, something like that, or at least, get some closure on so that your orange is flowing more vibrant, because there's an effect there of that pain, that heartache. As we move up here into your willpower, it's presenting itself very good. They say good credit, good return on investment. So the stuff that you will yourself to do every day, your everyday choices, your free will, you're putting it out there very good. You're getting it back very good. No worries, no issues. Moving up into heart here, we have heart action going on. So your heart chakra, your green one here, is very active, very, very busy. I don't know if that means that you're busy in love, or if you're busy pursuing love, or maybe you just are surrounded by a lot of people that you love, an environment you love, but they show action here. And keep that into consideration too, that may be part of the advice to get this moving in case you don't. This is your heart is longing for that action. So at least consider that. Depending on where you're at, of course, the context of that will be different for everybody. Moving up the ladder a little bit further here into your throat. Your throat is a little hung up. It's not really doing a whole lot. So a lot of you, this is kind of spoken word. This is the way that you express yourself as well. You may be internalizing this a little bit too much, a little extra, not speaking your mind. Maybe you don't know how to speak your mind or how to voice your opinion about something that bothers you with either a loved one or something at work or whatever it is for you. They show deep knowing here. So there's a big part of you that knows exactly what I'm talking about here. And it knows exactly how you can address this, how you can fix this. If not, this happens to be the guided meditation that I'm releasing first. So it's interesting how that works out. The throat chakra guided meditation is what I'm releasing first, probably a couple days after this reading. It might be a couple days into June, but very, very soon. So make sure you check out the Facebook page and the YouTube. You subscribe on YouTube so that you see that, and that'll help get this hang up moving. As we move up a little further, this is your third eye here, and they're showing really good balance here with the Queen. So it's very mother-like energy. Your third eye is actually like, it's a weird way to put it, but they show that it's very caring. It's almost like there must be something behind the scenes. There must be more to this, and I'm not exactly sure what it is, but it's definitely a giving thing here. And your third eye is your dream state, also meditative state. Anyway, it presents itself very good, and I'm not worried about it. And then as we move up to the very top, this is a key thing they want you to consider. It's very good at the top. And your top here, your crown, is very much connected to the solar, the lunar. We talked about the moon cycles. It's very much moon cycle energy and the higher dimension stuff. Here they bring up new work, new home projects, new redecorating, stuff like that, guys, is very well placed with the moon cycles. So if there's any of that stuff you're trying to do, go back to what I talked about the moon cycles, figure out if you're trying to do this and bring it in brand new. If it is, do it at the end of June. If this is something here that you just need to get rid of, let me give you an example of like quitting a job. You might want to consider doing that around the middle of June. Okay, so figuring out the moon cycles for this is already going good. They're just saying here you can get it to go a little bit better, guys. So that is the entire reading. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining. Like I said, it's been a wild 1 year, and thank you so much for everything. Please remember to like and subscribe. I do these videos every single month. That's it for me, guys. Have a great June.